Beepus boopus. I am live because I am late. However, my camera software really doesn't work, as you can see by the buffering symbol.
Oh, I can hear you. This is awful.
Symbol.
Oh, I can hear you. This is awful.
Hello, Bashimi. Classic start of stream things not working moment. You should be. Assuming you're actually loud enough to hear. Let me get up. I don't remember what the playlist I used before was. Still copyright free gaming music. 10 hours of lo-fi video game beats. There it is. I never actually checked if I got any copyright strikes on my last stream from this playlist. Maybe I should check that. No, it doesn't look like it did. The camera worked! Yay! Kitties be screaming. Right, so hopefully my my ring light won't drop out in the middle of the stream. I think my ring light is breaking, which means it might be time for me to upgrade my lighting. We need to get you a camera. What if it does? Oh, I need to get a sheet for my wet palette. Because I'm swapping over a sheet. Ish, oh, stuff in front of my drawers. Today we're doing the white part of all of the models. So you can see, hopefully this will actually show up on camera, the difference between these two. It's quite a subtle difference. But these ones that I've already done are like slightly more white. And the white is slightly more consistent. So we're doing basically that on all the models. I'm currently doing the big boy, so we get to do some big boy painting. Once all of that is done, I'm gonna do all of the grey, like, shell stuff. And then once the shell stuff is done and I don't have a risk of getting that on the body, which I can touch up as we go, I will then do the purpley pinky on all of the body. Yes. You can kind of... Yeah, you can see the difference on here, the top of his leg versus the bottom of the leg where I've painted it versus haven't. You can see that difference, so that's what we're touching up. So you're sick, so be prepared for some dog shit typing today. I had to correct the tiz I 5 time before getting it right. Oh, the tiz, I see what you meant. Sorry, I thought I was having a stroke that time. But yeah, we're doing white, then I'll be doing all the grey, then I'll be touching up any of the grey, like, overflow on the white, so that I can then do pinky purpley over the white, if that makes sense. And then there will also be colours, they're not just going to be grey and pink. There will be other colours. No George today, by the way. Because George is a loser and has a partner. Imagine having a partner you care about. But yeah, I also hope you feel better soon, Bashimi. Why? George has a life, hat nerd. I know, right? Exactly. What a loser. For some reason, my brain just went to the Wi-Fi joke. It's like, Wi-Fi? Sure, I have Wi-Fi. A Wi-Fi hate. Boomer humor. Ow. Look at the scrape I just got on my finger off wiping hair off of this. There's this, like, spiky bit in the middle of this. And I did that and just scraped my finger. You can kind of see it on camera. Is Leo still getting his ass kicked by Bloodborne? Yes. He'll be doing that in a bit.
What?
He is currently fighting, like, applications. Bashimi, in solidarity to how ass you were feeling, I applied for a promotion at my work and I didn't even get an interview for it. So, we all feel an ass in today's stream. This is an ass stream, but not that kind of ass stream. The other kind of ass stream. The less interesting kind of ass stream. The kind of ass stream that Twitch doesn't promote. I'm gonna stop saying ass stream because I think that phrase is shifting meaning now. Squirtle uses ass stream. Oh, I also forgot.
Oh, I have a beverage, except I don't right now.
Do not go get yours. Silly. I have cider today, and it's I bought shitty Asda own brand cider, and then we had a substitution in our order, and they substituted the shitty own brand Asda cider with Thatcher's like nice brand cider. So yay, I have nice brand cider that I didn't have to pay for. Thank you, Asda, for being out of cider. Probably.
Oh.
Asda's a fairly big brand. It was owned by Walmart at one point. But yeah, so there were 3 people that applied for the job. Only one of us got an interview, and it was not me. And those of us that didn't get an interview all got a generic, like, copy-paste email saying, you didn't get the job. Felt great. Felt really appreciated that my company would take 30 seconds to write me a personal email saying, you didn't get the job. So, you know, in 4 months, when I turn 25, we'll be able to rent a moving van and we'll start looking for work elsewhere because Leo also wants to leave. We just have to survive 4 months. Ah yes, the LeMayo get good email, yeah. And the worst part is, because I know who was responsible for choosing the applicants and giving the reasons why you didn't get it, that person comes up with really shit generic excuses that they can just give to anybody that you just can't refute. Like, not taking initiative. So we'll see what excuse I get given tomorrow. Crimes. Eco-terrorism. I think we should just both get jobs at the Sea Shepherds. We were talking about the Sea Shepherds the other day at work, actually. I can't remember why. Love those guys. The Sea Shepherds are literally like the Giga Chads of the ocean. Wait, so instead of giving reasons why the person taken was chosen, they give reasons why you weren't good enough? That sounds shitty. Yeah, but also the reasons that they give the person that they've given the job is because the person who's in charge has already got like determined notions of exactly how they think people are without actually ever confirming that. They just decide that people are like a certain way and goes, yeah, this person is like this, without ever even talking to that person, you know? Cannot wait to start getting hand cramp painting today. Vibe-based employment is actually literally... It's the same in husbandry side with Leo. Like, the exact same thing happened. You don't take initiative. Well, yeah, there's no upward job prospects here, apparently. Why would I work extra if my pay doesn't increase and there's no reasonable chance of moving up in the company? So that leads me on to a reason that some people... So, basically, the way it works in the section I'm in is we're all rangers. And we have rangers level 1, 2, and 3. I'm a ranger level 1. Now, before this level 2 position came up, there was a previous one that 3 people went for... or 2 people went for within my team, and neither of them got it. They hired externally. The reason that they gave for those 2 people not getting it was that they didn't have enough level 2 ranger experience. They are level 1 rangers. They also hired someone who has no rangering experience. So, you know, all I'm saying is that any faith I have in that the management actually hires people properly and gives reasons that make sense, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And any faith I had of otherwise is gone. I don't even necessarily think that I was the best choice. I'm not even really mad that I didn't get it. I'm mad that I didn't get it, and between the 2 people that I thought it would be between, only one of them even got an interview. I'm just mad that we weren't even given interviews. If I was interviewed and then didn't get it, fine, I get it. But because we weren't even given interviews, it's like... It's just kind of insulting. Don't get me wrong, the person that they hired for the last level 2 position is lovely, and I'm sure she's going to do a great job. She's already settling in really well. But like, when one of the people that applied for the job that she got is having to train her on that job, that's actually insulting. Anyway, rant over. Let's be positive and paint minis. I have work tomorrow. I had today off and it like ruined my day, and now I have to go to work tomorrow and pretend like everything is fine. I'm basically going through what Leo already went through. Would it make it any better if I mentioned that the company horribly underpays its staff, apart from the people that work in the office? Like, the people that work in the office get paid more than husbandry, who look after the animals and require degrees. And the reason that husbandry doesn't get paid more is because it's a charity! And they're doing the work out of passion and the good of their hearts, but that doesn't apply to marketing and the people that work in the office. Why would they work out of the good of their hearts and passion? It's a charity! It's also the most successful, or it's at the very least one of the most successful aquariums in the whole country, so they really don't have an excuse. No, Sea Life's not a charity. Whoa. Beleaguered sigh. I'm not surprised about the pay, but it still sucks. Yeah, also the CEO. So our previous CEO was great. Love that guy. He actually refused pay increases because he didn't need it, and why would he take more money from a charity? So he was getting paid around 80,000 a year. Still quite a lot of money, but like for an upper class gentleman who's running a charity, not that much in the long run. Our new CEO is getting paid in excess of 100,000 to 120,000 a year. So, like, it's fine when he gets paid more, but anyone else... Second stream where you rant about that CEO, that's how we really know he gets under your skin. It's because, like, the charity, the whole place pretends like it's about people and charity and, like, getting people to love the ocean. But it's actually ruined by, like, corporate shitbags. And they're the worst people in the whole company, and they just ruin the whole thing and then hide behind the "it's a charity" excuse. It sounds like I'm calling people at the aquarium corporate shitbags now, and like... some of them. I won't say who, but some of them are. Life's not a charity, declares upper management who makes an excessive income working at a charity. Yeah, pretty much. How's this looking on camera? It's not like horribly blown out, is it? Oh, it might be a little bit. Up the ISO a little. That better? That's a bit better. It does make it look grayer than it is though, because it's actually quite white. That's better. Like it's white on the cusp of being grey, or grey on the cusp of being white is how it should look. What's this music? Sounds really familiar, but I can't figure out what it is. I think it was Minecraft music. Bishimi was right, it looks like a xenomorph combined with a monster. The monsters from A Quiet Place had a monster baby. It's a Tyrannid. I don't think they'd predate Alien, but they definitely predate A Quiet Place. Warhammer and their popular monster at home version creatures. I mean, a lot of their monsters predate, like, the monster at home stuff. Also, the Balrog at home wasn't actually Warhammer. That was actually a Magic the Gathering thing. And that's Wizards of the Coast, not Games Workshop. This is a really hard part of the model to get to here. There's kind of model in the way. Not a criticism, just got some vibes, yeah. It's all good. I'm not worried about criticizing them. I don't own the company. If I did, I wouldn't be working for a charity for minimum wage. I should get up a picture of when this model originally launched in like the 80s, I think, versus how it looks now, because this is actually a relaunch of the model, and my god, is it so much better than it was. Previously, he was a goofy guy. After this coat, you're doing it in what color? So all the white bits are going to be a pinky purpley, and all the black bits are going to be basically this. So the black bits are all going to be highlighted with a grey, if the camera wants to focus, and the white bits are all going to be this purpley color. There are also going to be like red bits in the joints and stuff, and there's going to be like glowy green bits in the vents, and different models have like weapons and stuff, so those will be different. The claws I'm going to do a kind of like bluish, like a dark bluey grey. Pinky purple, so fuchsia, I guess. I think the exact contrast paint I'm using is called like Majos purple. What's this? Majos purple. Gonna need some shaking. But contrast paints are great because they let me be lazy. So if you look at this model, there are darker bits and lighter bits where it's like filled in the gaps and stuff on the purple. You literally just do like one wash coat of it. And then it's shiny because I added a gloss coat because I wanted it to look goopy. I found out you can turn off the PlayStation 5 on beep in settings. I've turned it off on mine because I don't like it. It's really loud and jarring. Although it's not as bad as my Xbox 360, which used to go boop. Although you could get a Halo edition Xbox 360 that when you turned on would go wow. And I always liked that one. Although what I didn't like was how the Xbox on buttons were touch sensitive, which meant that if you accidentally nudged them, you would turn them off. And mine was under my desk, so I'd occasionally accidentally turn it off with my foot. I think the joke I was aiming for is a culture-specific thing. Where I'm from, there's this constant debate about what is fuchsia. Yeah, I don't know if people debate about that in Britain. I know what fuchsia is, but I think there's a good chance that if you asked a British person what fuchsia is, they wouldn't know. That's my commentary on the British public. Yeah, you know that. You're an artist. What do you mean, not really? Yeah, so are most artists. Here's the thing though, what really differentiates pink and purple? Blue? Is it? Yeah, but you could add a bit of blue to pink and it would still be pink. Yeah, but how? At what point have you added too much blue for pink to be considered purple? See, you don't have an answer, so you're just mocking my words. Wow. No. Gonna mute you. You are actually unmuted on stream, right? Oh, you've been muted this whole time. Leo has been muted this whole time. We're half an hour in. Leo has actually been here this whole time. No one said anything.
I feel utterly betrayed.
No one even mentioned the fact that I was talking to Leo and you couldn't hear him.
Oh, I forgot I'm at this point.
I even mentioned at the start of the stream that Leo's here.
This has been ultimate betrayal.
Multiple points where I've looked over at Leo and said something and no one assumed. Did everyone think I was just talking to the void? Just, that's blue. Blue's crazy. That makes sense. That was me. Broke my model. I love that you boot up Bloodborne and immediately start singing.
It's just the Bloodborne vibes.
And Leo singing the final countdown while in the first area in Bloodborne. The first countdown. Not the final one. You hesitated to ask whether he was just hanging around, not meant to be on the stream, or if it was a mic problem. No, I just hadn't unmuted him.
I was betrayed.
Because he leaves the streams early, so I tend to mute him when he's gone, and just forgot to unmute him.
I'm such a fucking idiot. I just defeated all the monsters and then just went back home.
Good job.
I forgot which way I was meant to be going, and apparently it was not that way. Meep moop. Meepity beep boop. Is it Chain Boy? Fuck yeah, I love Chain Boy.
Chain Boy.
Oh! Chain Boy.
Chain Boy.
Big scary lad.
That is like most of the Bloodborne enemies.
This one specifically. Ow.
How dare you shush Leo like that? No one said anything. I do not take responsibility for this. If any of you had said anything,
Hades be snorbing. Yay, he died.
within moments of being unmuted, he's already shouting a bit, yeah. Because I only unmuted him once he started playing Bloodborne, which was my mistake.
Yeah, I
should have left him muted.
I was doing normal human activities.
I probably should have left him muted, actually. In fact, I might just mute him again. I don't think anything of value was lost, to be honest.
Meep, meep, meep. Meep, 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 meep.
Leo is the loudest quiet person, yeah.
There is no in between.
There isn't.
I'm either inaudible or
Deafening.
Sorry. Some hefty lads that want me to die. Oh, he glitched through the floor. That was fun. No! I died. I really don't like this area. I don't think I've ever liked this area. It's just boring.
You're just bad.
I mean, yeah, I'm aware. But, like, I just don't find this very exciting. It's just like, oh, it's those guys. Fuck you, Cathedral Ward. No one likes you. Oh, I'm really cold. Yeah. 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 Give me. Oh, oh, oh. I'm very tired, so I'm probably not that entertaining. I'm just making noises.
You don't think Leo will ever outlive the penis shouting? It's on the internet now. You are a penis shouter.
That's okay.
Gonna be on his gravestone.
Just penis in capital letters. Oh! There was a burb. Burb jump scare. Where the actual fuck am I meant to go?
Oh, another thing that happened with work, which me and my colleague both agree was kind of fucking weird. So we had like a team building evening last night, and at that evening we basically got lectured on like the values of the company. I think the anagram for the values was pride. But the top of the P of the whole thing was positivity. And we were told that these are non-negotiable, and that if you are struggling with any of these, you need to talk to your line manager so that they can help you sort it out. And we were just sat there like, she's lecturing us about these values and talking about positivity and how we always have to be positive, and without positivity, you can't possibly be respectful and engaging and all of these things. And I'm like, well, first of all, yes, I can. But second of all, like, we're an ocean-based charity. It's really fucking hard to be positive about the ocean at the moment. Especially given that the most powerful world leader in charge of the most powerful country in the world is currently reversing laws on fucking plastic straws and fracking and destroying the ocean. And she even talked about this. But it's non-negotiable that we're positive. Like, It's also really frustrating because as a charity, we have to be politically neutral. But it's really difficult to be politically neutral when there's a very clear divide between who on the political spectrum gives a shit and who doesn't. Like, how am I supposed to be politically neutral when one guy goes, fuck the ocean, plastic straws and fracking, and the other person goes, those things are bad? Am I supposed to go, both of these are okay and you should not decide on who you vote for based on, like, my view on the ocean? Like, no, it's pretty clear fucking cut, right? It's pretty fucking clear cut. But the person giving us this talk is also, like, the most corporate, like...
Who was it? Oh, she was the when I was doing the talk.
Yeah, she introduced your talk. Yeah.
Oh, dogs.
She's super corporate. I've never personally talked to her. The colleague that I was talking to about this has never personally talked to her. I don't think she's ever talked to any of the new Rangers, but she acts like she knows exactly who we are and what we do. And then goes and lectures us about positivity and how we gotta be positive, guys. Like, I think there's a place for positivity, and positivity is important, but there's also a place for being realistic and talking about what the fuck is actually going on and the issues that are currently ongoing, right? Because if we just ignore them and be positive, nothing is going to be solved. And considering activism is a big part of the charity, ignoring the issues going on is stupid. So that also annoyed me. She had nothing to do with me getting the job or not, though. That's a separate rant. That just happened to be the day before I got an email saying I'm not even getting interviewed.
Why do husbandry never get invited to these?
Because you're not part of the ocean advocacy.
We are like the biggest fucking advocates, though.
Yeah, but you don't. You're not part of the actual advocacy and engagement
team. Are you gonna fight me?
Because they're AOE evenings or OAE, Ocean Advocacy Engagement, or Advocacy Ocean Engagement.
Oh, it's Alfred. We're besties now. He gave me fire. Thanks, bestie. Oh, he's got mutton chops. I applied for that Biaza thing and I've decided I don't want it.
What actually is it?
It was different to what I thought it was, but I'd already applied and then I reread the job description. I was like, oh, actually, I don't want to do that.
That doesn't explain what it is or what it does, though.
So I thought it was... I forgot there was a difference between working groups and focus groups. Working groups are like the big corporate scary things, and then focus groups are like, hey, I like these kinds of animals, let's research them. I thought it was a focus group. It's not, it's a working group.
Oh, it's a working group. Gross.
So now I regret.
Well, I mean, if you get it, you can just reject it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think me and Leo both came to this city, went to this aquarium and went, wow, this is really cool. The stuff they do here is amazing. Like, this aquarium's huge. They got really cool animals. And now we've both been here like a year. And we're like, I've not been here a year. I've been here like 7 months.
Yeah,
But Leo's been here over a year. But we've both been in this city over a year. And I think that's enough for us.
Yeah. But Jimmy, do you mean the part of staff that I'm working in, or Lawrence, because we work in different sections?
What's that word you keep using to talk about the part of staff you're a part of? I'm not sure I understand it right.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, what word?
Husbandry.
Husbandry is what Leo does, which is looking after the animals. Ranger is what I do. which is ocean advocacy, which is
Oh my
like
fucking god! Sorry.
Leo's, I think, husbandry
Yeah.
is looking after the animals.
To husband is literally to look after. That's what husbanding is.
So husbandry is a general animal term for like zookeepers and aquarists and like all of that kind of thing. It's like a big umbrella term for person who looks after animal.
Person who look after beings. Oh, it's the stupid fucking jumping puzzle that makes me want to kill myself. This, oh, the ladder. Where am I? What has happened?
No matter what you say about jumping puzzles in Bloodborne, they're still not
More
worse
bad than the
the
Elden Ring. Oh, I found
Elden
a
Ring,
lantern.
like
Oh,
flame,
Am I in Old Yharnam?
frenzy flame one.
This is Old Yharnam.
Woo!
Ooh, great success.
But yeah, husbandry just means someone who looks after animals.
It's someone who looks after things, not specifically animals.
Are there other forms of husbandry?
I think so. But, like, that's...
What other jobs are referred to as husbandry?
I don't know.
You don't have like plant husbandry. That's called botany. And you don't call like a care home worker husbandry. Just sounds like you're calling a care home a zoo.
Care, cultivation and breeding of crops and animals.
I've never heard anyone who looks after plants referred to as husbandry though.
In some places, we're also called displays, the curatorial team,
Biologists,
biologists,
aquarists,
aquarists.
zookeepers, grumpy people,
Yeah,
assholes,
yeah,
stinky,
yeah. We're always very stinky. Ooh.
that other team, those guys, keep out of their way,
Impolite to the
do
general
not
public.
interact, avoid at all costs,
No one likes us.
don't sit at their table.
We do have our own table. It's pretty weird, actually. I always infiltrate the ranger table, though.
We're more fun to talk to.
Etymology.
I mean, that makes sense for husband and wife based on wildly outdated understandings of gender dynamics, of course, etymologically speaking. Blue is spinning out of control. Honestly. I almost didn't have the energy to stream today. What's funny is, the colleague who did get an interview for the job, who I genuinely really think deserves it, and would have been like, I thought it was going to be a toss-up between them and another person who didn't get an interview. But yeah, I mean, amazing, wonderful person, and I genuinely think deserves it, and I'm not like salty that she's gonna get it or anything. She's genuinely just as mad as I am that the other 3 rangers didn't get interviews. Because I was complaining about it, and I was like, obviously I don't want to take away from the fact that you have got an interview because I think you deserve it. And she was like, no, but I want you to vent at me because I'm annoyed too. Starting to think there's beef between the rangers and the husbands.
No.
There isn't really, but it's a bit of a joke. The Rangers are scared of husbandry.
A lot of the members of the team that I'm in are perceived as scary. I'm not one of them. I am referred to as one of the nicest members of husbandry.
You also couldn't be scary if you tried.
No, I could not. I hate it when people are like proud of themselves that other people are scared of them. It kind of gives me an ick. It's like, that's not a good thing. But okay. I actually have no fucking clue where I'm meant to go right now.
Even if they were always going to pick, they could have bothered to keep the illusion of fairness. Yeah. Or even just out of, like, interviewed us out of respect. Because without, you know, tooting my own horn, I think we're all pretty fucking good at what we do and, like, deserve the respect to being treated like we are. They even made us send an application video for it, by the way, regardless of the fact that we already work there. We had to send in CVs, cover letters, and application videos. And I went so far as to edit my application video and make it fun because I'm a videographer and that's what I do. And I get that, you know, it's not a particularly important part of the application, but I would have thought that that would have at least got me something. Waste of my time.
This is gonna hurt me. No, it's not. Fuck you. Fuck you. I am so, like, absurdly lost right now. I don't know where I'm meant to go. I get there.
I think that's all of the white on this guy that needs doing. Oh no, I haven't done his arms yet. Never mind. Internal hiring makes sense from a lazy bureaucratic point. Just hire the person who already knows the workplace, just needs more position-specific training. Hiring externally is more effort on everybody's part, more management time spent showing someone new ropes. No, I agree. So, like, What could have happened is they promote someone who already works there, who basically wouldn't have to change much of their job or be trained on a whole lot, and then hire someone to take the place that they were just in, which requires less training and less responsibility. And what they did last time was instead choose to hire someone new and put them in the position above the people that already work there, and then get the people below them to train them on the job they're doing. Isn't that wacky and crazy and quirky? Which is also basically what happened to Leo. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen this time, or if they're going to hire internally.
Who would they hire it? Oh wait, if the person that we think is going to get the job gets it, they can't.
No, not for her job, but for the level 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to hire internally or externally for that, because they did open it up to the public.
Yeah.
And if they do hire externally, I think we're all going to be pretty pissed off about that. Because once again, it's going to be us having to train a level 2 to do their job. Yeah, so the situation that happened before was we have a toddler group that we run once a week. And the person who was in charge of that toddler group quit. But one of the level 1s had been running the toddler group with her quite a lot. Was really good at it, knew exactly how to do it. Everybody expected her to get the job. They hired externally and then made her train the external hire on how to run Tods.
That is exactly what happened to me.
I don't think I sprayed this part of the claw well enough. All the paint's getting too watered down. It's really not sticking. Or is it? Look at that.
Oh, hello.
But it might just be getting too watered down. The stupidly elaborate game of table tennis that is the hiring logic, yeah. In the case of what happened with Leo, so Leo is a level 1. They hired a new level 1 who has a lot of experience in the field, like 10 years of experience or something in the field. And Leo and another level 1 went, you know, like, I'm sure he's lovely and great for the job, but also this is kind of unfair on the level 1s that are already here, because if a position comes up, he's basically an automatic shoe-in to the position, so we're getting a bit screwed over by having this opportunity just taken away from us. Now, Leo and this other level 1 were shouted down and told, no, you're just being selfish, that's not the case at all. If someone more equipped for the job than you is available, they'll get it anyway. All of these things. A level 2 position came up, Leo applied for it. The guy was immediately given the job, and the reason Leo was given was that he doesn't have enough experience for the job. Basically exactly what Leo and the other level 1 were concerned about happened.
And they took away a bunch of like responsibilities that were originally a part of that job specifically to suit him.
Yeah, so like previously you had to be able to dive to get the job. You now no longer have to dive to get that job because he can't dive. When they had 2 people who were dive fit and were literally in the process of getting their diving qualifications who could have filled that job. But no. We'll just remove that requirement and instead have a guy who can't dive be in charge of more responsibilities with the animals. The lower downs can just dive for him and pick up the slack.
But not get paid for it.
But not get paid for it. It's not even the fact that it happened, it's the fact that you were basically like shat on for voicing it.
Yeah.
And then it happened.
Yeah, and then we don't even talk about the fact that it came back to haunt me again.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because she, the other person that complained about it, brought it up as a weapon against Leo.
Me.
Even though she said the exact same thing, I was there to witness it. Because this is an incredibly fucking toxic environment. And then they wonder why this is one of the aquariums with the highest turnover rates in the country. I don't wonder. Do any of you at home? We love it here, can you tell? Guys, hurry up and get me to like 100,000 subscribers and like get me to a point where I can start making enough money on YouTube that we don't have to work, that we can just go to any aquarium. Turnover rate is like the rate at which you get new employees who quit and you get new employees who quit. So it's the rate at which you hire people and then people quit the business. The aquarium we work at has a really high turnover rate, which means that people don't spend a lot of time at the aquarium before they quit. And we're going to be a part of that statistic, it seems. I think one of the only aquariums with a higher turnover rate technically isn't just an aquarium.
Where is it?
Legoland.
Oh.
But they have an aquarium, so I'm going to count it.
I'm sure I fucked something up here because I don't know where I am. Well, I know where I am, but I feel like I've missed a whole chunk of what I'm meant to be doing.
Are you a bit lost?
Yeah. Like, I know where I am. Oh, it's machine gun. I know where I am. But I don't know. I feel like I'm here too early.
Are you?
Yeah. Like, I feel like I missed a bunch of stuff in Cathedral thingy-majingy.
Well, the thing with Soulsborne games is that if you can get somewhere without doing something else, that thing is optional. There are a fair amount of optional bosses in Bloodborne.
Fuck! Machine gun. No, okay, I've deceased. I got caught in the machine gun fire.
Did you fight the big monster in the church? Because you were going up the stairs to it.
Big monster in the church?
Yeah, that has all the like Mr. X dudes on the staircase leading up to it.
Where?
I can't remember what the monster's called.
Isn't that one Lawrence?
No, it's the same place, but not in the like the weird world. Because there's like the DLC version of the world, which is like Hunter's Nightmare.
Yeah.
There's that same church when you're not in that, and it's like a dancing monster. I can't remember what it's called. Is it Sister something?
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you mean, but I cannot figure out how to get there because the only place I've managed to go is Old Yarnum. Do you remember how you get there?
I can't without like seeing.
Oh, because this is big. So big chain dude's here. No, big chain dude's not here. Yeah.
These are the stairs though.
But there's no way for me to get through this door.
No, because that's a shortcut. The way up is left of that door. There's like a big, massive central staircase. Left. Is there not an alleyway down there? No, that ends. Okay. I can't remember, but basically you want to get left of that gate. Right is the from the current direction you're going.
But like, I can't go this way anywhere. The abyss.
No. There is a way, I can't remember what it is. You're out of stamina.
I hate the birds because you try and hit them and then you can't reach. Yeah, I have no idea how to...
How did you get where you are currently?
I just came out of the Cathedral Ward thing. Because this is straight after... What's his face?
I think it's down there, isn't it? Down there and right somewhere.
Or down here. Bye. But the thing is, you can't go that way, so you gotta go that way. Then you go to the church.
It's not down there. You were going the right way.
Oh! Or you go up this way. And you get the big chain boy. You get this guy. And this staircase.
Go up those stairs.
And then you get to a shut gate.
Oh, is that another shut gate?
Yeah. A special emblem.
I can't remember where you get the special emblem from.
Google.
Is that special emblem not from Old Yarnum? Like where the minigun guy is? Hello from Switzerland. Hello, Extreme Lucario. How are you doing? Get back to painting. Leave Leo to his bloodborning.
Oh, Vicar Amelia, is that the boss?
That's the boss, yeah. Yeah, Vicar Amelia.
Yeah. Oh! The scary boy managed to get up here. Run, 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 run.
Because you AFK'd while in a dangerous area.
Yeah, I didn't think he usually goes all the way up the stairs.
He does.
Well, I know he does now.
Your Warhammer box came? Nice. Love to hear it. What I'm doing is currently not even in stock, is it? The way you're painting makes it look like you're tickling the poor fucker. I am. That's the secret way to defeating the Tyranids that the Imperium of Man never figured out. They're really ticklish underneath their armor.
Oh, apparently there's a door that you open by thingy-majig. The Hunter's Dream.
Oh. Yeah, to be fair, Soulsborne games do like
Just
going.
not telling you anything.
You need to talk to a person to progress, but not telling you that you need to talk to said person to progress. It's why anytime I meet anybody in any Soulsborne game like Elden Ring, I just hammer the talk button until
Yeah.
their dialogue repeats.
Hello, sir.
You know, so unwell you had to debate whether you should use your, not your, yes. Perfect. Needless to say, I'll be watching the rest of your stream lying down. It's actually YOR. Y''R.
Instead of the usual Bloodborne screaming, this has become Leo is confused. Bloodborne stream.
I mean, the confusion is nothing new. Consonants only stream, hell yeah. Or should I say, Ulye.
I did, in fact, do correct. I was right. I was meant to go to Old Yarnum.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I know, but I felt like I was like, there's so much left to do here. Yeah, it's because you go back here, Leo. Oh, I have a headache.
R.I.P. How quickly does this paint dry? Relatively quickly. Especially because I've done a primer. Like I sprayed a primer coat on. The primer coat seems to make it dry faster. I don't know why.
I forgot that everything in Odeon, or whatever the black skull thing is.
Not rot, is it? Can't remember. Because it sticks better. Maybe I don't know if the primer's also like slightly porous or something. I don't know. At the very least, it dries a lot faster than that ink did. Some say that ink is still drying to this day. I think Leo should get a job at an aquarium in Japan.
Can't speak Japanese.
Fine.
That's fine.
Get a job at a Japanese aquarium and I'll become one of those Japan lifestyle channels. What's up everybody? Today we're gonna do a house tour of my one-room apartment in the middle of Tokyo. Here it is. Here's the one room. Thank you for watching my video. Those one-room apartments are horrific though. They're so common.
Yeah.
Like, people literally living out of one room, a room that has their bed and bathroom and everything all in one room that's smaller than this living room. And then they wonder why mental health is such an issue in Japan.
Hades clearly has something to say about it.
I can't even see him because he's behind your back. Blue will Nihongo Jozu their way into the Japanese work market. I don't think I would survive working in Japan, I'm not gonna lie. The work culture in Japan is horrible. Can't see the cat. I would say that my Japanese is currently at Nihongo Jozu level. Although Duolingo threw out a really niche word at me today. Not today, yesterday. Yeah, they killed the owl. What do you mean in multiple countries? Are they not all the same owl? Well, it's all the same owl, isn't it? Just because the team's different doesn't mean the owl's not. Pretty sure they're the same owl. What do you mean they killed the owl? He's dead. Hero the owl is dead. Oh, every time you do this you nudge me while I'm painting. This is a very delicate painting, Leo. Anyway, yeah, I had a really niche word thrown at me yesterday. And the word, it's actually the same in both Japanese and English. Which makes it easier because I don't actually have to remember it really. But that word is Tagalog. Tagalog is the language of an island off the coast of the Philippines. And Duolingo was like, it's really important that you know how to write Tagalog in Japanese. I believe they do speak it in the Philippines, even though their official language is Filipino. But yeah, I had never heard of Tagalog before. Maybe I'm just uncultured. Isn't it a mix between Filipino and Chinese? What, Tagalog? No, Tagalog's its own thing. Because then Filipino is a mix between Tagalog and another language that I can't remember the name of. I mean, maybe it's etymologically comes from Chinese. Like at some point in its history, it's derived from Chinese. But yeah, the section I'm at on Duolingo is talking about college life. Now, bear in mind this is American college life, not English college life, which is very different. But apparently, Tagalog is really relevant to learning about American college life. Also, the fucking American college year system.
It's so dumb.
So, in the UK, at uni, we just call them years 1, 2, 3, and 4. That makes sense.
Oh, fuck.
In Japanese, you have Ichinensei, Ninensei, Sannensei, Yonensei, which means years 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, Duolingo is an American app, which means I can't put in year 1 or year 2 as an answer. I have to put in freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. Junior is year 3. Sophomore is derived from the word sophus, which I don't think a single American person could even tell you what means. I couldn't tell you what it meant before Googling it. America is blamed. I swear if Hades is munching my cables right now.
Hades.
I'm gonna eat you. Back. The spring doesn't change things. We'll do it anyway. He's not even playing with the spring. It originates partly from an older form of Malaysian, so I was wrong, but not that far off. Oh, it's still talking about Tagalog. Yeah, I guessed. Wiggly. I put you down and you go munch my cables. Ugh. Where was I?
He sharpened his claws. Oh my god, that's a very large fire.
Creature. He is a creature. Sophus is not that hard to guess the meaning of if you know French. So another L for the English speakers, I guess. It means, like, to deceive. It means wisdom. Because it comes from Sophus or Sophum, I believe. And when I looked up Sophum, it was like, to deceive or debate. And I was like, why the fuck are we naming years after deception?
Oh, a big lad. No, don't poison me.
I mean, wisdom does make more sense, but it's still stupid. As opposed to just calling it, oh, I don't know, year 1. No, sophomore's year 2, sorry.
Fuck. Penis. There you go, my life advice for the day.
But there are a lot of really small things like that where it's like, I have to use the Americanism, I can't use like British English. Like komibago or gomibako, one of the fucking ways around. It means bin.
No.
And I can't use bin, I have to use trash can.
Trash can.
R.I.P.
Rip. I am going to bed actually. I am shitered.
Don't forget to feed the cats.
I won't. I need to go downstairs anyway. Sony Computer Entertainment presents Japan Studio.
I did finish that top floor, didn't I? In the bottom one. Like, I'm pretty sure I started on the bottom one. I started painting it and was like, there's no paint, like, anywhere on this bottom floor. Like, did I start this thing? Where else was I painting? That's where the names Sophie and Sophianne come from. It means to be wise. Ah. I actually really don't know if I like this like cover of Minecraft that's playing right now. Sophisticated also comes from that too. Oh. The sophisticated is never used in a way that means wise. used to refer to someone who's like cultured. I guess if you think about like what sophisticated means, like how you would envision a sophisticated person, I guess it could mean like culturally wise. Well educated. Once upon a time, we probably did conflate well-cultured and poised with wisdom. Yeah. I feel like culturally, we're, especially in the West, we're a bit lacking in wisdom nowadays. Class awareness has really damaged that perception, yeah. Wisdom is at an all-time low, and that's exactly how the people in charge want it to be. What's that music? I don't know. I might have changed songs since you asked then. I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention. Oh! I feel like we also conflate sophistication with, like, classical knowledge, when the reason that would have been previously associated with what is now classical knowledge is because when the idea of sophistication was first gaining ground, classical knowledge wasn't classical, it was current. And then the idea of what sophistication is didn't grow with society, it just stayed the same. So now it's like, oh yes, I am very sophisticated because I only engage in Victorian culture, you see, and that makes me sophisticated. I'm definitely not just a couple decades behind. When, like, really, sophistication should have grown with culture. The nostalgia obsession. Yeah, pretty much. And, like, I won't lie and say that I don't eat into some of this, like, like, some past aesthetics are cool. The whole 80s aesthetic that made a comeback, I fully ate up because I freaking love, like, neon and, you know, all of that classic 80s stuff and, like, 80s cyberpunk and, like, sci-fi. I love that shit. But I also don't try and act like it's the 80s culture or 80s sci-fi is better than modern sci-fi. I'm not sophisticated because I like a previous version of something. It's also wild to me now how, like, the late 90s, early noughties, like, fashion and culture is making a comeback, because that was... I grew up in the early 2000s, so, like, that kind of culture was what I grew up with, and I fucking hated it then. like early noughties, late 90s clothing and, like, aesthetics were hideous. Fucking awful. Who thought bringing flares back was a good idea? No! Don't bring flares back! But see, now I'm being culturally elitist again. See, maybe I am the issue. E.T. E.T. Phone Home. I genuinely don't get the whole noughties aesthetic. It's not even, like, visually interesting. Like, at least other past aesthetics have, like, quirks to them. The noughties is just, like, baggy trousers and bucket hats. How the fuck were bucket hats ever popular, and why are they popular again? You know? Why the fuck do you keep saying noughties? Because that's what people refer to the early 2000s as. Because you had the 80s, the 90s, and the noughties. Because it's naught naught. We also grew up in the early noughties, and the fashion was decidedly mediocre at best. Bucket hat rules. Fuck you. Bucket hats are the worst, and I hate them. Bucket hats are the Crocs of hats. Just because you can't rock them doesn't mean it's universally ugly. They are. I've never seen someone wear a bucket hat and thought they looked good. I will die on this hill. They're not even practical hats. They don't even serve as hats well. It's all about confidence. If I confidently wore a bin bag, I'd still be wearing a bin bag. I already have. Like... Headbutt. No. Bucket hats are a flavor. Yeah, and the flavor is licorice. Leo in the background just went, I like licorice. Bucket hats were never cool. This is the only flavor of elitism I will allow. And it's bucket hats. Like, if someone can show me a single picture of someone wearing a bucket hat and looking cool, I will change my mind. But you can't. Because no matter how cool someone might be looking, if they're wearing a bucket hat, it ruins the look. You know, a lot of people who look good in bucket hats, and you will not take this slander lightly. You're just wrong. You know a lot of people that look good and then they wear bucket hats and it ruins it. You're also French, and France has been like behind the rest of the world in fashion by about 2 decades for the last 100 years. Yeah, I said it. Gonna slander France now too. Of course people would wear bucket hats in France. That says all I need to know. Bucket hats are cheap, non-functional, and easy to accessorize with. Why do you hate the poor, Blue? I don't hate the poor. Here's the thing, right? There are hats that exist that are cheap, easy to accessorize with, and are practical and functional and serve other purposes and look good that poor people can afford. I'm poor. And you know what I don't do? Wear bucket hats. Slandering France on fashion as a Brit is the funniest shit you could have done. Hey, I did French class in school, and every time we looked at France as a country, we went, wow, that's weird. They're wearing clothes that we wore in this country 10 years ago. Every time. Every single time. There are things that France does better than Britain. You know? I'm not going to pretend like there aren't. Lots of things. But common streetwear, not one of them. Every time. So I obviously work with the public, right? I work in public engagement. Every time we have French tourists in, I can identify them by the clothes they're wearing before they've even spoken. And I am correct every time. There is a very specific look. And obviously, you know, I'm not saying there are people in the UK that are unfashionable. Like, there are absolutely people in the UK that are unfashionable. They exist. Unfashionable people exist in every country. And you know what those people wear in the UK? They wear bucket hats. And sure, you know, fashion is subjective. That's fine. I dress in a way that not everyone will enjoy, just as there are people that dress in a way that I'm not particularly fond of, but I would still consider, you know, fashionable. However, bucket hats are universally unfashionable and never look good on anybody. I am absolutely a Sith and I am absolutely dealing in absolutes. You've seen enough documentaries on British pubs to tell you y'all's fashion is incredible either. No, it's not. But doesn't that make it somewhat worse? That French fashion is always about a decade behind and ends up the same as British fashion just 10 years after it has happened? You're American, you don't think you have a leg to stand on when it comes to street clothes fashion. There are some fashionable Americans. In all honesty, America generally kind of sets the standard for what's like fashionable worldwide. Hollywood has pretty heavy sway over what people find fashionable. British streetwear just looks like outdated Russian streetwear and no one will not be elaborating. No, British chavwear looks like outdated Russian streetwear. There is a very different, like a very definite difference between a chav, like, you know, Devo, and what the common Brit wears. Like, have you heard of denim? We sure have. I wear a lot of denim, I won't lie. Do I wear double denim sometimes? Yeah. Not all the time though, I have leather trousers as well. I'm gonna start doing fashion haul streams, and there will not be a single bucket hat. When I start my ASMR channel, I'm gonna do an ASMR burning bucket hats video. First, we douse the bucket hat in petrol, then we light the matches, and we burn the bucket hat. Lovely, look at those flames. The most beautiful thing this bucket hat's ever achieved. Hey guys, mic brushing. Today we're gonna burn mic brushing some ugly ass bucket hats. It's just nice view of the mini we're getting. Yeah, look, it was an awkward position to get to, and this boy has a wide base. I do find it amusing that we've come quite far culturally in how much we've shifted as a world in the last 20 years, you know? Shifted very culturally, and yet fashion has it's rolled back round to Tracy Beaker. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google Tracy Beaker. In fact, I'll do it for you. Because I want to relive this. I guarantee at least one character in this show, in a picture coming up when I Google this show, will be wearing a bucket hat as well. Tracy Beaker, like, cast? Let's look that up. Playcat. Oh, it's coming up with a lot of recent pictures of some of these people. So this was a kids show from the 90s to like early 2000s in the UK. None of these are good pictures though. This was considered quality entertainment. No, not Tracy Beaker Returns. That's too modern. I can't remember what the character that I'm thinking of was called that I guarantee wore her. She 100% wore a bucket hat at some point in the show. Well, if I remove the word cast, let's see what comes up. It's just going to come up with her, isn't it? They were based on like a really popular series of books, and plot-wise, the show was actually quite good. Like, it was about a girl who lives in a foster home and had behavioral issues, and would like get into trouble and cause chaos. And they covered a lot of really good subjects throughout that show. Not gonna lie. But looking back at some of the fashion, like this kid here. Oh, who I think is also the same kid from Young Dracula. The fashion on the whole cast speaks to the time period. It really does. I want to get more pictures of it. Can't remember what everyone was called. We had Tracy, obviously. I think she was called Chantel and he was called Crash. I just realized that my camera's completely covering that, so you can't actually see who I'm even showing. Conveniently. There we go. Chantel, Crash, Roxy, I think she was called. Oh, that's a terrible picture. There we go, that's a bit better. That was Justine. She was like the antagonist. Oi, Hades. No, you can't be eating Leo's cables now, mister. This. Wait. Get that out of the way. But it's the like the baggy trousers especially. The names the kids have are also the most naughtiest thing ever. Oh yeah. I mean, some of them were nicknames, right? Like Crash wasn't his real name in the show, I don't think. This guy was called Bouncer. That was his nickname. And I think he was called LOL. Like LOL. Which I actually think was short for Lawrence. But yeah, no, Tracy Beaker came back. You had like Tracy Beaker Returns, and now you just have The Dumping Ground. It's like set in the same place, but none of the original cast is there. Oh yeah, I forgot she has like a whole ass daughter now. I do love how many of the characters wore like bandanas in this show. Oh, my camera's just in the way. It's making this difficult. Move me over there. I won't block anything over there. These are like the most 90s pictures. Just in general, like the whole layout and everything. Like, just pictures of the kitchen are so like 90s England. It's not even the good part of Y2K fashion. To be fair, I don't think anybody was meant to be that fashionable in the show. Like, it was a care home. None of them could afford, like, care homes in the UK are horribly underfunded. So they weren't getting good clothes. I just need more. Show me anything. Literally any of the shots from the show of like more of the cast. It isn't just this same picture again. And this same picture again. care homes everywhere are. Yeah, I know, it's a real issue. A legitimate issue. And you know who wants to make that problem worse? Republican. Yeah! We should vote for them. They want more children in care homes, and no, they don't want to adopt. Don't get me started. The clashing coloured stripes, yeah. Although, obviously, like, to an extent, I don't think people really wore that, you know? Like, to an extent, some of that is, like, what looks vibrant and visible on TV. Especially back in the day when TVs were, like, 480p if you're lucky. I think this will help. Have I already done this arm? Looks like I have. Which arm haven't I done? This arm. That's the one. Anyway, why would I ever want to simulate that fashion? The Republicans want to unravel the fabric of our democracy and civil rights, but they might lower the price of groceries by $50. They're not even doing that! Groceries are more expensive than they've ever been. People wanted egg prices to be lower. No one can afford eggs anymore. No one can get eggs anymore. America is straight up in a state of, like, civil disrepair. I saw a video of a Canadian guy being interviewed where they were asking him, like, you know, is he worried about Trump invading? Like, what's his thoughts on Canada being, you know, the 52nd state? I might have talked about this on last stream. I can't remember anymore. Time's going too fast. He basically described listening to Trump the same as listening to a crack addict at a train station, which I think is accurate. And by the way, no American politicians do not control grocery prices in any way, shape, or form. No. That's all down to corporations who are making record profits, and somehow inflation is still rising. Well, it's crazy that inflation's rising. It's definitely inflation and not just billionaires arbitrarily raising prices of things to make more money in a time where they already have more money than they've ever had. Definitely not. But yeah, anyway, in this video, the Canadian guy basically said, like, I think he was asked if Canadians want to join America, and he was like, of course they don't. Why would anybody? Why would anybody want to like, turn their country into another American state when everything that America is currently doing is happening? Who would want to be a part of that? You feel like you're seeing your neighbor's house burn and being told just to wait and see if it ends up solving itself. Yep. That's global politics. What you're doing, Bishimi, is you're watching your neighbor's house burn. However, your neighbor just actually completely stripped all funding from the fire service. And went, my money's not going to the fire service. I don't want them helping people who aren't me. My house isn't on fire. And then their house caught fire. I might see if I can find the video in a second, just to put the audio in the background while I paint, so you guys can hear what I mean. Because it's quite funny. And your neighbor is trying to claim your house so he can set it on fire too for some bizarre reason. Except it's an 80% made of asbestos house, everyone in their neighborhood will suffer the consequences of the burning. America wants all the power that comes with being a global superpower without an ounce of the responsibility. Yeah. All accurate statements. Oh, the post got removed. I can't play it. It got removed. No. Damn it. That's disappointing. R.I.P. I was looking forward to that. Clearly it was a bit spicy for the mods of that subreddit. I think the scariest part about it all is that yes, there are people that regret voting for Trump, and there are people going, oh, I didn't realize it would be this bad. And then there are people going, oh, I don't care how expensive egg prices get and how much Trump runs into the country into the ground, as long as I can see liberals crying about it. And like, what the fuck kind of stance is that? Oh, you don't give a shit about what state your country ends up in just so that you can see people that do care be unhappy about it? What the fuck is that? How do you view that as a good stance to have? I do not understand. That's just the most cope mentality I've ever seen, where it's like, well, you know, the guy I just voted in has done an absolute shite behavior of his first couple months. So the only way I can cope about it is by going, cry about it, liberals. Like, what an absolutely garbage mentality to have. And then you've also got the people that actually genuinely think that Trump's doing a good job. You know, people that look at Trump going, I'm removing the restrictions on plastic straws, and they go, hell yeah, Trump, keep at it. We don't give a shit about the planet we live on. Destroy it all. Meanwhile, the only reason Trump's doing any of the shit he's doing is because he's being lobbied by, like, you know, big oil companies and all the companies with lots and lots of money who are giving Trump lots of money with zero interest in what's best for the people and just wants money. And the people are going, yeah, he's the best president ever. Keep taking those bribes to ruin my life. I love it. I'm Christian, which means that I support one of the worst people that could have become president, who stands for no Christian values whatsoever, because I'm a Christian. That's how that works, right? Please? Please, I've got nothing left. I've got nothing else. All I've got going for me is, at this point, that I will just suck Trump's dick for anything. It's all I've got left. The white is done. Which has a statement to yell after the rant that I just had. Now, I say the white is done. It's done on this guy, but I do still have that to go. But we're not going to be finishing that pile on stream, I don't think. At least not this one. You're related to more than a few Trump supporters, and you can basically guarantee the ones who think he's doing a good job aren't actually keeping up with his policies or changes. They just cast their vote and went, phew, now I can keep being a bigot and not worry about politics anymore. Yeah. 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 Why actually be up to date on the goings on in the world and the policies that are being passed and the state of the country when, you know, I could just put on Fox News for half an hour a day and call it quits. That's where I get the entirety of my worldview from, is Fox News. Right, so this is a thing that is more known to people outside of America than in America because of how it was aired. But did you hear about the Super Bowl and how Trump got booed? And Fox Sports dubbed cheers on top of the boos. But outside of the US, on sports channels that aren't Fox, they had the original audio and you can hear Trump getting booed. And there are plenty of videos that people filmed on their phones of Trump getting booed. But Fox dubbed it so that it was cheers, because this is fucking North Korea apparently that we're talking about. Is that not the most pathetic thing you've ever heard? Imagine being the president of the most powerful country in the world, and enough people boo you in an audience that your simp channel has to fucking dub it so that they can't hear you getting booed. Then you can barely hear Kendrick's performance. Also, the amount of Republicans that have gone, who's this Kendrick guy? I've never heard of him. He's clearly not that popular because I don't know who he is. I don't like this music. Like, as if Kendrick doesn't currently have multiple songs currently on the Billboard's top 100, one of which being within the top 5. Like, dude is one of the biggest music artists in the US right now. Like, one of the biggest. And Republicans are acting like this is some random nobody that no one has heard of. Like, it is peak burying your head in the sand and going, la la la, I'm not listening, my opinions are the only ones that are right. Insane. Insane. Oh god. And I'm supposed to be positive about all of this in my workplace and be apolitical. Non-negotiable, guys. Non-negotiable. Kendrick Lamar has been a huge artist for at least a decade, right? I mean, dude is up there with Taylor Swift. He's done songs with Taylor Swift. They share a producer, I'm pretty sure. Like, dude is massive, but then Republicans and Taylor Swift is also a whole other conversation. But I'm not particularly into hip-hop. I don't really listen to rap and hip-hop. Even I fucking know who Kendrick Lamar is. You vote for gutting a few centrists as a treat. What, those both parties are just as bad as each other centrists. The enlightened centrists. The centrists that are not actually centrists, they're just there to add dissension against, you know, they're not there to actually convince people to be centrists. They're actually Republicans that are just there to dissuade people off of Democrats, just enough that the Republicans get the votes out there. The let's do some discrimination centrist. It's also amazing how many national holidays the US has now already removed as national holidays. And like, because of that, they're no longer on Google as national holidays. because Google just uses the government database. Like, they've removed Martin Luther King Day. I don't know how much more transparent you need to be than removing Martin Luther King Day, but apparently people still aren't getting it. America's political spectrum is so skewed right-wing that our centrists are just regular conservatives. Yeah. In the UK, we have the Conservative Party, or the Tories, if you will. And even they are not as conservative as the left-wing party in America. And we call those Tory scumbags. But yeah, I mean, to remove Martin Luther King Day as a national holiday is as transparent as you need to be. And yet people don't get it. Martin Luther King changed a lot in American history. He revolutionized a fucking lot. I mean, it should say a lot that pre-Martin Luther King America and the laws that they had in place and the discriminations they had in place, Adolf Hitler publicly stated were inspirations to him. He was inspired by American policies. Liberalism is centrist at best, and if we're being honest, it's a lot more right-wing, and I don't mean this as an insult, but Americans have such an extreme far right that you make liberals look left-leaning. Yeah, like, it's insane that what the rest of the world just considers to be human rights and the norm, like, you know, access to healthcare, is considered, like, far left in America. You know, isn't that insane? Republicans have spent the last 20 years slowly putting the Voting Rights Act, which MLK pushed the government to enact in the 60s, removing his holiday as a real mask-off moment, granted from a party that barely wears that mask anymore. Yeah. Well, I mean, the party literally had a dude do a Nazi salute at the inauguration of the president, and people defended it. If that doesn't say everything. Like, if that doesn't prove to you that there's nothing at this point that you can do or say that will convince these people, like, a dude doing a Nazi salute at the presidential inauguration is probably the only evidence you'll ever need of that. And it's scary. Like, it's genuinely scary. And that dude is getting, like, unregulated access to tax money. And, like, the IRS and benefits and all of those things in America. It's scary. Americans liberals are just like, let's not do any meaningful changes in either direction, and Americans are like, damn, you guys are such radicals. Yeah. It wasn't even just him sticking his arm out, he did the whole salute, the whole thing. Yeah. The whole ass salute. Beat for beat, identical. But it's just a Roman salute, guys. It's just a Roman salute. Which definitely isn't exactly what the Nazis claimed their salute was, which is something they made up. It's not real. He did 2 salutes, one towards the public and one facing the sign behind him. Yeah, he did it twice. It's not even a once thing, he did it twice. And then instead of like going, oh, that wasn't a Nazi salute, I'm not a Nazi, he went and spoke at the fucking AfD rally, a modern neo-Nazi rally in Germany. Elon was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk at that right after I do a Nazi salute. Yeah, people are going to defend me and claim that it's all innocent. Insanity. Insanity! The Roman salute is a modern invention, and it was fascist when they made it up, and the Nazis definitely claimed it for their own anyway. There's no making excuses, yeah. It's like, you know, the swastika is a sign of peace in some religions. However, if I went around driving a car with swastikas painted on it, and painted swastikas on my house, and flew swastikas in my window, you'd probably assume that I was supporting a certain side, and you'd probably not assume, oh, they must just be a part of that religion, right? Like, contextually, if I go to a Hindu temple and they've got swastikas there, I know what they mean. If I see a Republican driving a pickup truck with a swastika on it and a Confederate flag, you get what they mean. And Elon has a disturbing amount of political power for a guy who was neither elected nor appointed. It's terrifying. It's because he's giving Trump a lot of money. The richest man in the world has a lot of money to give Trump. And he sure as shit is. Plus, Elon Musk is buddies with Rupert Murdoch. And Rupert Murdoch is absolutely notorious for being a Russian, like, mouthpiece and taking a shit ton of money from Russia. They go hand in hand. Elon Musk also gets a lot of money from Russia. Trump also gets a lot of money from Russia. I also wouldn't be surprised if Russia has a lot of dirt on both of them. People have just welcomed this into office with open arms. Swastikas are partially a Nazi invention, like it's a modified version of an actual symbol. It's not even a real Hindu thing. I mean, there are a lot of examples of swastikas being used by other cultures before Nazis. Obviously, in the modern day, it is largely associated with Nazism, because that's how it was largely popularized. But like, there are multiple cultures around the world that have used swastikas in designs and in patterns and in like temples and all sorts. Similar but identical. Yeah, I mean, like, one of the big ones is that, like, the Hindu one, I believe, that it goes in the opposite direction, right? To the Nazi swastika. Like, he reversed it. But there are even accounts of, like, Vikings and Nordic countries having swastikas on their helmets and stuff. Because we also know that Hitler loved Vikings. Which sucks, because I like Vikings, and I don't want liking Vikings to be associated with Hitler. But then I don't think there's a single part about Hitler's campaigning or the things that he glorified or associated with that isn't stolen from something. Even the whole Aryan race thing, like, doesn't Aryan literally just mean, like, someone that comes from Iran? Like, that's what the origin of that word is. It just means, like, someone who comes from Iran. Pokemon music as a backdrop for talking about Nazis is quite a thing. Yeah. Yeah. Vibes you only get in Blue the Nerd streams. If you ever want a really, like, genuinely funny but also, like, poignant and, like, impactful take on Nazi Germany and Nazi culture, the film Jojo Rabbit, directed by Taika Waititi, also starring Taika Waititi as Adolf Hitler, is genuinely such a good film. It's a comedy, but it's also, like, at times so dark and so rough. Genuinely really good. I don't know what half of this game music comes from, but I'm loving it. It's a vibe. I keep smacking my microphone. It's like slightly too close for my my paintbrush, so I keep hitting it with the back of my paintbrush. I'm really scraping the bottom of the barrel for this paint right here. I just can't be bothered to get out more paint this close to the end of the stream. Will I ever go a stream without talking about Nazis? Hopefully, please. Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully they'll become less relevant. I have my doubts, but hopefully. Miss the days when the late streams talks were about salad and soup. Yeah. Those were better times. The world was in a little bit less of a state back then. Not much, but like a little bit. For us it was, for you it was when it happened while you were wrecked with riots. I can't even remember what the riots were about in France. Was it about the change in retirement age? Because I do remember there being riots about that. Although it really doesn't take much for France to riot over things, and I respect that. We could do with having more courage to riot over things we don't like in the UK. A teenager had died, killed by a gendarmes? Oh, I do remember that. I also remember in the UK, I think around a similar time, there was a teenager murdered in the UK, and a bunch of white supremacists used AI to make up shit about like a Pakistani immigrant killing said teenager, which was completely not true. And suddenly we had like a shit ton of white supremacist riots and like protests and shit against immigration. Although my favorite one was, we also had a lot of counter protests to those. And there was one, I believe in Brighton, a city in the UK, where the counter protest was about 10 times the size of the original protest. Like, shot close range with non-lethal weapons in the head. Yeesh. Yeah. Well, then they're generally not called non-lethal, are they? They're called less than lethal. Because people being killed by less than lethal weapons happens a surprisingly large amount. What are gendarmes? What does that refer to? Is that a name like used for a certain like police response in France? Gendarmes, gendarmes, yendarmes. Is the police basically right? The police, but more closely related to the military, I see. Because, crazily enough, one of the highest sought after careers for psychopaths being the police tend to be a bit sketchy a lot of the time. I don't know who could have seen that coming, especially when the police are as unregulated as they are in a lot of the world. Like, so few barriers to entry to actually enlist. Alright, I think I am done painting for the day. But, you know, I'll end in a little bit. I'm not done just yet, but I am done painting. Because I am tired. Oh. Let's turn this off. Let's go big webcam. I'll grab the cat in a sec. Let me just lose this down. Beepus boopus. I need a nap. And by a nap, I mean to go to bed. And then I have to go to work tomorrow and act like everything is okay. Once had a gendarme give us a speech about the French military and stuff, and he really couldn't resist to talk about how much he wants to punch civilians. Wow. Wow. Sounds about right, though. Sounds about right. Do you remember when you had a lot of Republicans and conservatives defending the police? And they were really throwing around the phrase, it's just a few bad apples, it's just a couple bad apples, it's just some bad apples. Completely ignoring the extent of that phrase is it only takes one bad apple to ruin the bunch. The irony there should not be lost on anyone. Oh. Let's move that. Let's put that. Yeah. Oh, sorry, that's squeaky. Ugh. Get the cat. Hello, mister. Hello, mister. Oh, my phone's too close to my microphone. Sorry about that. You say goodnight to everybody, Hades. Look, up here. No, where are you going? Where are you going? Look. Look up here. Hades. Say goodbye to everyone. Yeah. Goodbye, everybody. What a positive note to end on. At least we have Cat. Cat make everything better. At least temporarily. Yeah. Good night, everybody. I will see you again next week, where we'll probably be doing more painting. Probably. And then in a couple weeks, Monster Hunter Wilds is coming out, so I'll be playing that. And that'll be a nice change of pace, I think, and I won't have as much time to think about American politics. Goodbye. Goodbye.